muted, I think. We're going live, Tom.
I
And we're live.
yes, we're live.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. It's a pleasure having you. If this is the first time that you're joining, well, my name is Ignacio. I'm part of the Kiflo team. I'll be your host today, and I have my colleague Tom. He's also from the Kiflo team. He will be the moderator. So basically, Tom will keep an eye on your questions. We will encourage you to actually engage in that chat. So in the meantime, because I know that we already have like 10 people that are live, which is great. So if you can tell us what is your current role, that would be amazing. Just put in the chat what's your current role. We'll take some minutes so that people still can join. We'll wait for that. And then we have our amazing guest today. I will introduce him just in a minute, but we want to make sure that people actually join. And if this is the first time that you're joining, the format of the session today is a live Q&A session. So basically, what we do is we'll have a conversation with the guest today, but the idea is that you also participate. So we will encourage you to ask those questions during the session, and you'll get the answers. You don't need to wait until the end. You can actually get those answers right there during the session. Okay, so please put in the chat all your questions and we will keep an eye on those. Tom will read those live and we'll make sure that we get those answers. So, George, you're the head of partnerships. Great that you're joining, George. Pleasure to have you. So, please, the rest, just put there in the chat what's your role, and we'll keep things kind of like tight because you are expecting 35 minutes for the session, and then at the end keep an eye because we have a special offer for everyone that joins live. So the guest is super kind of like excited about this, so we'll keep an eye on that one until the end. Okay, so Maria, hey Maria, you are the partner manager, so great to have you here. And please, if you're just joining, put in the chat what's your current role, and we'll make sure that we give a shout out there. So a couple of minutes more. I think that we already have 12 or 13 people live, which is great. So maybe one more minute and then we'll kick things up and I'll introduce you to our topic and our amazing guest today. So one more minute. Francisco, hi. Hi, Francisco. What's your current role, Francisco?
Maria says partner manager. Nice. Francisco is partner ops.
Partner Ops. Nice. Glad to have people from Partner
Amazing.
Ops. Shout out to Partner Ops. Cool. I think that Siva. Hi, Siva, partner manager, our marketing agency. Amazing. Great to have you, Siva. It's a pleasure to have you all here today with us. And I think that we can kick things off. I'm super
Yeah.
excited about the guest today. He's a friend of the house of Kiflo, and he has a ton of things to share with you today. The topic is super interesting. So basically, it's like entering the new era of partner experience. So it's going from customer experience to partner experience and merging those together. He will explain everything. So today we have Thomas Dussarrat. He's the founder of Viva Go to Market, and Thomas has 20 years of experience doing this. He actually calls it customer partner experience. He'll explain all this during the session and how to
Right.
achieve. He helps companies actually achieve what he calls the company-wide partner first culture. So Thomas, it's a pleasure to have you today, and thanks for doing this.
Yeah, I'm very happy to join you. Thank you to the Kiflo team, Ignacio, Tom, and all the amazing team. You are doing a great enablement around our core topics. So I'm very excited to join. I've got a lot of peers of mine who did this, and it's my turn. So let's do this.
Let's do it. Let's have fun. And we are super excited to have you here because I know that we have a lot to share with the audience. And again, if you're just joining, keep an eye at the end. We'll have Thomas is super kind to extend this special offer for you. Thomas not only is a consultant, but he trains and he has courses. So he will share this with people that actually register at the end. So keep an eye on that and stick with us. Okay. So before we join, and we have some more Lorenzo Hyol Alliances Manager here. Happy to have you, Lorenzo. And Paridhi, hello, everyone. Just tell us what you're doing. So maybe we can kick off things. And I think that we have a poll for all of you because we want to know, like, what's your current situation. So, Tom, let's kick off with the poll. So this is super interesting, but what percentage of your go-to-market team, and what we mean by go-to-market could be sales, marketing, or customer success, has an understanding of the strategic value of your partnership ecosystem? Okay, so it could be less than 30, which is kind of like in the low. The mid is 30 to 60, and then over 60, you're doing really well. So currently, it seems like less than 30, and in the mid range is kind of like what we are looking at. We'll give a couple of minutes to people to reply. Let's see. So less than 30, 30 to 60, 43 and 43. Maybe one more minute with the votes. Anyone else? No. It seems like, Thomas, we have kind of like a spread between less than 30
Yeah,
and in the mid range, which is kind of like expected. So I think that this will give you a lot of clarity of kind of like the audience that we have today. And I think that it's a great kind of like transition to the first topic that we want to share with you today, which is kind of like that shifting the landscape, right? What you call it, Thomas, shifting the landscape, which is why traditional approaches fall short. So all yours, Thomas.
absolutely. So, hi to all of you, wherever you are. So, today, as you mentioned, we are talking about this shift. A lot of companies, they are setting the limit of operating with direct sales approach. And it's not fashion. It's not about style. It is a reality of the new go-to-market. We have a stats, 80% of the CEOs, um, they, um, they are increasing their investments in anything related with partnerships ecosystems. This is a stat from Canalys. So working with partnerships is not an option today. It's a must. And the CEOs and the C-level is trying to do better with the situation. So the paradox is the following. You are growing as companies, you are trying to grow, and you are trying to scale. This is what we all want. We want to sell more, but we want also, by doing less efforts, to sell more internationally. And you will never be able to achieve that by working by yourself. You cannot scale. We are trying all to reduce the customer acquisition cost. The CAC is what we are all watching at, and this is what we are trying to reduce. So as of today, we all know the situation, economic situation is not the best one. However, we can still perform. But we can perform if we have a risk mitigation approach. So we have to reduce the risks of failing in our partnership, I would say, execution. So basically, with all the companies I've been working on my end, in my humble career, I've seen all the leadership focused on customer experience. So we had all the team, as you mentioned very clearly, Ignacio, from business developers, SDR, to account managers, account executives, customer success, pre-sales, all involved in the success of our clients, the customer experience, the CX. This will always remain the objective. We need to take care of our clients. They need to buy more, and we need retention. And we need a bigger customer lifetime value. But the fact is that we cannot achieve that alone because we are not alone surrounding our customers. We are only able to capture 4 out of 28 purchasing moments of our target accounts. This is a statistic from Canalys, which means that you, as a vendor, you are able to capture buying moments only 4 out of 28 moments where they are ready to share insight, to share their pains. And the 24 moments when you're not there, they are speaking to other people. They are speaking to intermediaries. They are speaking to the people they trust. And people they trust are people they've been working with for a long time. Can be, for example, GSIs, can be Deloitte, it can be Accenture. KPMG, it can be with small boutique partners which are very, I would say, dedicated to their core markets and verticals. And it can also be to with hyperscalers, because hyperscalers also today is not an option. There are more and more deals going through marketplaces like Amazon, GCP, etc. So those people are the ones speaking to the ear of your customer, and you need to not forget them because they are involved in your customer journey. So from the first moment when you speak to your prospect to the moment when you sign and when you adopt the solution, the clients, the partners will be involved all the way. So I would say that the shift is to consider that the customer journey, you will not own it by yourself. It will be a shared responsibility. And it's essential for all the DTM team to interact with all this value chain and to know how to articulate the collaboration with partners. So it's not the job of the partner manager to do that because it's not scalable. All the team members need to know how to articulate this story of collaborating, making our customers happy, sign more with them, and maintain them, I would say, part of our customer base, and also make sure that they buy more from us to improve the customer lifetime value. So a success story I can share with you is that I've been working recently with some business leaders, and I had the chance to work with some leadership that was aware that partners are not an option. And basically, they've been designing quotas, they've been redesigning their trajectory in order to really improve collaboration with partners. So now all the team members, they need to identify partners straight, very early stage on the opportunities. So everybody is involved to map the partner ecosystem on each target account. And also it needs to be qualified in Salesforce. So they are incentivized, they receive a spiff whenever they have added one or two partners to each opportunity. So this behavior is a way to drive the change and to make sure that you will reduce the risk of having a bad pipeline, of not controlling correctly your sales pipeline and your funnel.
Amazing. That's amazing, Thomas. I would encourage everyone, if you have questions for Thomas on this specific topic, please put it in the chat. I do have a follow up for you, Thomas, which is kind
Yeah.
of like what we discussed about kind of like the internal friction. From your experience, how do you deal with those kind of like companies that they're still kind of like, they're, I would say the C level is still kind of like reluctant in terms of like going fully in with those partners focus, and how do you also put out those missed opportunities, because in a way if they are not focusing on that, as you said, they will probably miss a lot of opportunities.
Well, that's the topic. What you just mentioned is how to make sure that they are aware of what partners can bring. So, and this is our job, as independent consultants, to really challenge those C-level people. We all have a comfort zone because these people who are CROs, CSO, they are very talented and they may have reached their quota in the past and they've been very successful by operating in their comfort zone in direct sales mode. The fact that the market has changed now and the rules of the game are changing very fast. And if you really want to build, I would say, a sustainable growth and really focus yourself on your business, which is selling, I would say, software, which this is what I would say technology companies should focus on, then you need to really think about which part of your business you should delegate to partners. And I see a lot of companies still, C-level, that we need to, I would say, keep inspiring that they should not have more than 80% of their revenue, I would say 20% of their revenue, which is based on services around your solution. You are not a services organization, you are a software company. So you need to make sure you focus on selling your software and you delegate services to a range of qualified, selected partners who know how to articulate your joint value proposition, who know how to go to the market, speak to your decision makers, and you do just need to empower them so that they can position your technology at the right time, right momentum, and with the right, I would say, business pains and being able to explain how your solution does it better, and I would say give some proof. So today, those leaders, some of them are aware they need to change, but what is missing is that they have never received, I would say, these hard skills on what is a successful partner ecosystem and what are the pitfalls to avoid. And this is where we are, as a community of, I would say, freelance workers, with partnership leaders coming to really bring them the insights in order to reduce the risk of failing. And for me, to answer your question, Ignacio, there is a big issue with enablement. We all went to business school. We've been learning a lot about businesses. But when it's about orchestrating sales with partners, we all fall very short. And this is why we've been designing Viva GTM as a consultancy and training platform in order to empower the extended GTM team and to challenge themselves, not by frustrating them, not by saying you don't do it well, just saying you could do it differently. And you could do it by splitting the work this way. And this is how you can potentially tomorrow trust an ecosystem of partners that will understand your value proposition, that will give you access to the right company target account, and that can help you also to grow, to expand your business internationally. So it's just changing of mindset and accepting that the comfort zone of yesterday will not be the one that makes you successful tomorrow. So it's
Totally.
pure transformation.
Totally. I totally agree with you.
Absolutely.
And thanks for that answer because it was amazing. And I'm glad to see. So if you have questions for Thomas, this is the time. Put it in the chat.
Yeah, we don't have any questions right now.
I love to see Eva in the chat.
I think
Hey,
our
Eva.
audience is
Eva from Bond.
I
And
think
we
our
have
audience a
Damien.
bit shy today.
Yeah, Damian is a partner manager at Web Manual. So again, if you just join us, please put the questions there so you'll get the answers from Thomas. So if we don't have questions, maybe we can move to the second topic and just kick things up because we have a lot to cover. So this one is kind of like pretty straightforward. It's defining the new era of partner experience. So Thomas, can you explain us what do you mean by PX?
So partner experience is not a new concept. Some people working in partnerships and of course in sales um, I've been mentioning it, and somewhere partnerships are nothing new. But I would say partner experience, it's about making sure that in the value chain of what you are trying to achieve as a software vendor, which is selling your solution and selling better, it's about considering the layer of partners as being a place where you have, I would say, a community of people that you need to take care of, and you need to offer them an experience. So it's not about only focusing on the customer experience, because as we mentioned before, you are just very small versus what partners represent. So your reach will be always very small versus what your partners can bring to you, because they are the ones speaking to the clients. You are not. They are the influencers. You are not. So you are influencing your influencers. This is what you need to know. But if you want to influence people, you need to gain their trust. So you need to be, I would say, relevant. You need to provide the right level of information. And so basically, when I speak about partner experience, it's about offering them a great collaboration with your brand. So what does it mean? It means, first of all, offer a great onboarding. So whenever you decide to work with the partners, because you've been defining a joint value proposition together. So the first thing, you will have a very successful, very clear onboarding phase with your partner. For example, the first 3 months, 6 months, you will know exactly how you're going to enable their teams. That can be salespeople, they can be pre-sales people, they can be technical people. All this will be clearly defined. Before you kickstart the partnership, you will also have defined a clear, I would say, sector of activities that you will target. So, for example, we will target on e-commerce together. And within e-commerce, we will target the specific size of accounts because we know that they have the right level of maturity to purchase our solution. And we will do co-marketing. So which means that we will do a campaign together on the installed base of our partner, and we will organize an events with them, which can be webinar or physical event like a breakfast, lunch and learn. And we will deliver a message with our partners, which will be explaining what we can bring to them, which value, which business pains we can solve together. Because you need to never forget that what you are offering is just a small portion of what your customer needs. And the partners are there to really make your voice louder. So you need to leverage their power to be able to make your voice heard and really have more impact on your market. So PX is, as we mentioned, a great onboarding. It's also very good enablement because you need to make them, I would say, an extension of your sales team. So what I would recommend is really have a strong way to enable your team, which can be sometimes have online enablement, for example, an LMS platform to train your partners. But it's also to invite your partners regularly during the year of sharing their insights, of learning from your solution. So, for example, organizing afterworks, organizing um, different events. When you organize an event as a company, you should also invite your partners because partners are part of your family. So you need to really make them part of the history of the company. So partner experience is really caring about your partners. It's not about using them to close a deal when the deal is at 70% closed to almost closed. It's really engaging with the partners early stage on your deals and taking care of them so that they have a good impact on your decision makers. So you want to influence them, you want to take care of them so that they do good job for you. So it's a win-win approach. This is what I consider as a partner experience. And obviously, it's the teamwork. It's not only about the partner managers. You can employ 10, 15 partner manager in a territory. It won't make the partner experience efficient. Everybody in the team needs to be involved from the sales development rep, from the AEs, because we are all talking to the partners. So this is what matters. It's communicating well with your partners. And this is where we fall short again.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I
Perfect.
think that we have a question from Maria, right, Tom?
Yes, Maria broke the ice. Thank you, Maria. And
Thanks,
she has a
Maria.
question for you, Thomas. She's asking, can you share some best practices in defining partner onboarding and enablement?
Absolutely. So this is a big topic. As we mentioned, Ignacio and Tom, there is so much to be said about partnerships, right? But today we're going to try to focus. So um, my point of view on partner onboarding is that we all know that signing partnerships, a lot of partnerships, is not effective. Usually only 25% of our partners are delivering results. This is pure Pareto law, nothing more. It's pure statistics and it's not changing. So basically, it's important to reduce the risk of failing in your recruitment and onboarding. So the first advice I have is never sign a partner on onboard a partner without having at least one or two business opportunities that you have identified that you can quickly activate together. So deliver meetings together where you will do a meeting with the partner and the client and potentially attending an event together. You need to first think about a first win. We need to focus on first wins before signing papers. Paperwork is not that matters. What is important is collaboration. So find the first deals before you sign the partnership. And when you have signed the partnerships because you have closed one or two deals, what is very important is that you have 3 or 4 champions within your partner account. It can be the head of practice. If you work, for example, in the data area, you need to speak to the head of the practice of data at the partner. You also need to work with people from the technical team, people who are on the pre-sales side, who are recommending how your solution can be implemented in the architecture of the client. So you need also, I would say, a tech champion. And sometimes you also need like maybe a sales director is very important, speaking to the head of sales and also the head of services, because never forget it, partners need to gain something by working with you. And even if you have the best solution in the market, top of the right in the market quadrant, in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, that's fine. But what the partners want really is to make revenue on services. So you really need to show how they can make revenue by working with you. So for example, from $1 of software, they can sell $4 to $5 of services. So always keep in mind that your expectations are one thing, but the partner has his own expectations. And by understanding what they expect, you will be able to quickly see which partners you need to focus your time on. And it's not the quantity that matters. I will give you an example. In one of my job as a partner manager, we had around 30 partnership signed for one territory, which was France. And I've been realizing that there were only 10 of them who were ready to really, I would say, invest in the solution. So they were considering us like strategic, only 10 out of 30, which means that we had potentially 20 contracts we were sitting on a shelf, which were giving no value, but we were keeping on our website. Who wants that? Nobody wants that. So it's better to have less partners and where you know the people and people know you and they care about you and they are investing in the relationship. And they invest because they know there is money to be made. So another way to answer the question would be for the onboarding, it's very important that you clarify how they will make business with you. So you need to have a plan of which services they will sell. So you need to educate them and to invest in people to become champions on your technology. And this is the key. It's investing in partners that consider you as strategic.
Love it. That was an amazing
That's
answer,
great.
Thomas.
Yeah.
I,
And
I
we
wanted
actually don't have a lot of time, but we have
Yes, we
one
have
more question for
questions,
you.
but maybe we can.
Yeah.
I wanted to give Parithi a shout out because he said like, be your partner's best partner. I think that that's a great kind of like conclusion, and also please share
Yeah.
that because it seems like you wrote Parithi a similar post. So put it here in the chat, the link, so we can all see it. I think that Damien has a question for Thomas.
Yes, Damian's asking, would you charge your partners or ask for cost contribution when collaborating on a project generating direct costs?
So when you collaborate with a partner on a deal, it happens that sometimes they are not yet able to articulate all the joint value propositions. So, for example, for the first deals, they won't know how to work preparing a POC or working on an implementation plan. So you as a software vendor, you will put your team in the call. So your own resources as a company. So you will have an implementation manager, you will have a pre-sales. And basically, at the beginning, the partner, he will need to shadow you. So he won't be able to sell its services. He won't make revenue first. He needs to invest in learning from you. So on the first deals, more or less, he will be just shadowing you, and you will get the money for the services, for the professional services as the software vendor. On the second opportunity, you will potentially, the partner will do the call, you will be there, you will be supporting him, and then you will potentially do 50-50. So I will charge 50% for PS, and you will get 50% as a partner. And on the third deal, the partner will be enabled because he will have worked with you on two deals. So he will be, I would say, autonomous on selling services around your solution. And in this case, it will be potentially entitled to make 100% of the revenue. So it's all about where you are in terms of maturity with your partner. But what is important is make things that make sense. You cannot make them make money if they don't bring value. You need to go smoothly, and you always need to think about sharing, I would say, the efforts. And this is something which is one of the biggest challenge in partnership is I would say, is it a win-win? Have you done more work than I've done? And potentially it's kind of, it's important to just go back to common sense, and splitting the efforts, splitting the revenue should be always something we do. But obviously, it needs some time before the partner is fully enabled to make the revenue on your solution. So you need to train him before he's totally independent.
That was a great answer, Thomas.
Great
Thank
answer.
you. I think that we don't have any other questions, but maybe we need to move forward with the third subtopic. Is
Yeah.
actually something that is going to take some time, and then we have the conclusion from Thomas, and then keep an eye on the special offer at the end. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So this is what you call, Thomas, the PX blueprint. I think that this kind of like summarizes everything that you've been talking. So this is all about kind of like rethinking how your go-to-market
Mhm.
strategy and operations, right? So
So in terms of blueprint, so what is to shift to PX? I would say that first, it's about moving the mindset from being just an executor to being an orchestrator. So the objective of the go-to-market team will be to build champions, and you will demultiplicate, I would say, your potential by working with partners on a daily basis. So you will be less focused on internal stuff. You will be building champions externally. So that's a big change. That's what I call the octopus. There is your brain, and you're going to build a lot of other brains, tentacles of the octopus. And this is partner experience. It's about building those tentacles, which will make the partner feel like they are taken care of and they are empowered. So about it, the objective is to remove the silos. So basically, for example, marketing that does they manage their own budget. But I mean, today we know that it's very difficult to get hold of decision makers. But we know that partners are way better positioned than us because they already have access to a lot of stakeholders we have. So it's important, for example, to remove the silos, to really make sure that you can build co-marketing activities. And it should not be the initiatives of the partner manager. It should be the initiative of the account executive. Because your account executive taking care of the financial services industry, he will have identified one potential partner, like for example, OnePoint, who is very strong in this vertical, and he will work with the marketing department to build an event with these partners. So my point moving to PX is stop relying on your partner manager to handle all discussions and even on co-marketing. You need to be accountable for your business as an AE. And as a CRO or as a CEO, you need to expect from your senior sales team to be orchestrators of their own business. And if they want to scale, they need really to build their partners and to be very proactive, like entrepreneurs, what I call intrapreneur within the organization. So I would say that the footprint will be really to empower all people in the organization and really make them make decisions and be accountable of making it work with partners and only leverage the partner manager as a source of trust, a source of knowledge, and a facilitator. And this is really the shift that tech companies need to do if they want to really gain market share, reduce customer acquisition cost. That's for me essential.
that was great. I don't know if we have any questions related to that, but I wanted to have a follow up on this one, Thomas, because I think
Yeah,
it's critical. Like you mentioned that the AE and everyone in the go to market needs to own this. And I completely agree with what you mentioned in terms of like it's we selling rather than selling through the partners. So do you have any from your experience, do you have any kind of like I would say tips or things on how to actually achieve this? Because I think that most of the people attending today probably will
yeah,
struggle with this internally, right?
yeah. Of course, of course. No, it's a transformation. So it's not about tomorrow everything will be easy. But there are some actionable steps you can go through to really transform your way to operate, which will make you extremely successful tomorrow and more, I would say, attractive in the market, right? So basically, we are right now at the end of September, correct? We are about to enter Q4, which is the biggest, I would say, quarter. And we all know this is when big things are happening. So the first thing you can do tomorrow whether you are AE, whether you are pre-sales, is just go through a requalification of all your business opportunities and make sure that all the ones you have in the pipeline, you have identified partners. And if you have not done so, then I would say if the deal is very well advanced, it might be too late to onboard them. So you take a risk of your deal to I would say to churn, but to not happen, to lost. But if some opportunities are still, I would say, less than half, 50% of the sales cycle, make sure quickly that you interrogate your client, understand which partners is working with, and get hold of those partners. Because you need to really have a clean pipeline, and those partners, they're speaking to your client, and they might have pointed a lot of information that you don't know that are potential risks for you. So requalify your pipeline, rework your opportunities, and if you need help to activate partners on your opportunity, leverage your partner manager to do so. This is his job, her job, to really help you get hold of the right people at the right partners. But this is not the job of the partner manager to identify partners on your opportunities. This is the job of the extended GTM team. So review your pipeline and I would say qualify the partners on all your opportunities.
Amazing. I think that those are great tips, and thanks for sharing those, Thomas. I'm aware of the time, Tom, so maybe
Yeah,
if we don't have any questions, I would say that we can jump straight to your conclusion, Thomas. And then also, now we are kind of like at the end. So maybe what we can do is just bring yeah, we have the CTA there. You see the button there. Just click there and make sure that you actually apply to become one of the actual winners. I mean, Thomas is super kind to actually give for the first, I would say, 20 that register, you'll have the chance to actually win one of those courses. Those are 4-hour courses. Thomas put a lot of effort into those, and you'll be able to go through those. And so make sure that you subscribe. There's the link there in that bottom. So, Thomas, your conclusion of today's session, and then we'll wrap it up.
of course. So first of all, um, I would say let me just finish with one other stat, because stats are really useful and we need to share more stats, and we have more and more thanks to the new trends in the market. So I would say that 57% of deals where partners are involved are more likely to renew. So partners is not an option. It's really a way to avoid the churn. And also 47%, I would say, of companies who embrace collaboration with partners are able to have a stronger go-to-market and accelerate their go-to-market. And this is from Ernst & Young. The question, again, is not about how partners are important. It's about how you will execute work with them and how you will plan your business together. So the first thing for me is there is something about education. We all need to go back to basics, to go back to maybe some hard skills. And this is why Viva GTM have been supported by a team of pedagogists, people who have a lot of experience in transformation. And we have designed those learning paths, which are learning paths for extended GTM team. So it's not trainings only for partner managers. It's trainings which are dedicated to make the job of the partner managers easier. So it's transformation. We all need to collaborate better with partners. So we have trainings about how to work on ecosystem orchestrated sales. So all the science of working with partners on your deals, it can bring you a lot of inspiration. Some stuff about international expansion, so how partners can help you in international expansion. How to work also with hyperscalers. We know hyperscalers are the only way to scale tomorrow. And also about co-selling and co-marketing, how to do effective co-marketing, because co-marketing, we know, is not an option and a lot of companies don't know how to do. So those trainings, I am offering 20 to the first subscribers. They are very actionable and it's everything online. And I hope you will highly benefit from it. So feel free to register and I will be happy to get in touch with you quickly. And obviously, Viva GTM, just as a conclusion, we are just not there to design strategy for our clients. We deliver quick, actionable insights for our clients. So we don't design a strategy it is very difficult to implement. We define quick ways to adopt, to have traction on your key partners. So it's not about quantity, it's about quality. We do it with a team of consultants. Usually there is always one specialist in strategy and one with specialist in the specific industry of the client. So we are sure that we are really stronger when we know a specific, I would say, market segment. So we are a team and we work together to make smarter recommendations for our clients. And again, we offer coaching session for our partner managers, for our CEOs on how to, I would say, change from a direct sales approach to an ecosystem-led approach. And this does require expertise from people outside your organization. You need objective insights, right? And we do it also with training. So training for us is an ongoing work. We want to make sure that you and your team are really able to offer the best partner experience. And this is why we've been developing those trainings online, because there was nothing like this in the market. So I really hope you will find it insightful. And I look forward to bringing 20 free licenses for this first set of licenses.
Amazing, Thomas. I'm sure that they
Amazing,
will.
great.
They are already subscribing and looking forward to your courses. So, again, thanks for doing this. Thanks for taking the time. I think it was a great kind of like wrap up, and the content was super straightforward and straight to the point. So, thanks for taking the time to doing this. And I'm sure that you'll get a lot of people that will sign up for the courses. If you're watching this
It's
recording,
happening.
which yeah, it's happening
I'm
already.
receiving
Yeah.
notifications.
Nice. And
Yes, and
thanks.
yes, and thanks for joining live. I think that this
Yeah,
is
thank you everyone
if
who
you're
joined
seeing
live.
this recorded, this is the type of kind
Thank
of
you,
like
guys.
content that you will see, but also the benefits of joining live. So please look forward also to we'll have a really good session at the beginning of October. So we look forward to that, and thanks for joining or watching the replay. So thanks again, Thomas, and the entire people that joined. Thank you so much.
See you next time. See you
See
soon.
you next
Thank
time.
you.
Ciao,
Bye
ciao.
bye.
See you soon.